I'm learning that changing how I eat isn't about getting everything right. For me, it's about making better choices more often. And I've started using one rule before I buy food. How processed is this? Now, this isn't anything complicated, but it's helping me think differently about what I put in my trolley. So today, I want to show you exactly what I mean. I've been trying to improve my diet for a while now. And one thing that I've realized is that food shopping can be quite confusing. You walk into a supermarket and there is just so much choice. Things that, well, they look healthy, things that have health claims all over the packaging, things that say that they're high in protein, low fat, low sugar, or natural. And then, well, you've got foods that are basically just food. So I've been trying to simplify things for myself. One question I started asking is, how processed is this? Now, I'm not an expert. I'm learning this stuff as I go. And I'm definitely not saying that every processed food is bad, because that would make things far too simple. Processing can mean a lot of different things. Freezing is processing, cooking food is processing, cutting something up, well, that's processing. So I'm not standing here saying processed equals bad. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. What I'm trying to understand is how far this food has moved away from what it originally was. And the more ingredients and processing a food has, the more interested I become in finding out what is actually in it. So let's actually use this rule. Imagine I've picked something up at the supermarket. Before it goes into my trolley, I've stopped for a second and I've asked, how processed is this? Then I turn the packet around, I look at the ingredients, and I look at what I'm actually buying. Sometimes I put it back, not because it's bad, not because I failed to buy it, just because I stopped and thought about the choice. And that little pause is probably the most important thing that I could do. I don't need to spend ages thinking about this. It's an apple. That's about as straightforward as food gets. So that was an easy one. Now let's take something that's been made from lots of different ingredients, maybe a snack, or maybe a ready-made meal. Maybe something that looks incredibly healthy on the front of the packet. That's when I want to know what actually is going on here. So I turn it around, I read the label, and I try to understand what I'm looking at. But here's something I'm learning. I'm not trying to eliminate every processed food from my life, because realistically, I'm not going to do that. And honestly, don't think I would want to. Some convenience matters. Sometimes I want something because I enjoy it. Sometimes I'm tired. And sometimes I just want a packet of something. And that's okay. The difference is I'm trying to make those choices consciously rather than just buying something because the package caught my eye. So that's probably the biggest change I've noticed. Before I see something, I think, that looks nice, and into the trolley it went. Now, I try to pause. How processed is this? And that little question gives me a moment to actually make a decision. Sometimes I still buy it, sometimes I don't, but at least now I'm thinking about it. And for me, that is progress. And I want to be really clear about something. I'm still figuring this out. There are foods that I still don't fully understand, and there are labels that confuse me. And I'm definitely not going to pretend that I've suddenly become an expert in nutrition. I'm learning, I'm making mistakes, and I change my mind sometimes. And that's what this channel is actually about. Trying things, learning, and seeing what works for me. There is a downside to this rule, because if you start looking at how processed everything is, you can start overthinking everything. And I don't want that. I don't want to stand in a supermarket for 20 minutes wondering whether I should buy a loaf of bread. So the rule isn't supposed to make food shopping stressful. It's supposed to make me more aware, and that is the difference. So next time you're doing your food shopping, try this. Pick up one thing that you're going to buy anyway. Turn it around and ask yourself, how processed is this? You don't have to put it back, and you definitely don't have to feel guilty. And you don't have to make the perfect choice. Just have a look, because sometimes just stopping for a moment is enough to make a different decision. I'm finding that changing how I eat isn't one massive decision. It's lots of little decisions. One day, one meal, one choice. And for me, this is one of those choices. How processed is this? That's the question I'm trying to ask before I buy food. So what about you? I'd love to know. Do you have a rule that you use before putting food into your shopping cart? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're on your own health journey, thanks for coming along with me. I'll see you next one. Bye for now.